What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Trust the Tape. I'm getting a text right now. Might be from Broaddus. Nope, it's not. Welcome in. It's good to see you guys. This is me.
My name is Jeff.
I anticipate Brian's going to show up.
Hey, Bri.
Former Cowboy scout Bryan Broaddus. We're going to talk NFL draft things. The top receivers in this draft class are all visiting your Dallas Cowboys. Every single one of them, baby. Which means what? It means that's their most likely pick in the first round. Now, I don't think there's any other group where they're visiting all of them, but they could just be doing their due diligence. They might not want any of their wide receivers at number 12. But that's what I wanted to talk about today. Compare and contrast. Is there a best fit amongst those wide receivers, or do you just pick the best player? And what makes one better than the other? Because it's just it's a whole weird year, y'all. It's a weird year, y'all. This is another edition of Is It the Hot Dog or Is It the Bun?
Now this is a hot dog bun.
I think it's a hot dog.
All right, so Tetairoa McMillen, University of Arizona, Matthew Golden, University of Texas, Luther Burden, University of Missouri, and Emeka Ebuka, Ohio State University. All four of those guys have visited the Dallas Cowboys as one of their 30 pre-draft visitors out at the Star. I want to know in the chat, is there one of them that you like the best? Is there one of them that is for you? And I just want to kind of compare and contrast because I think this is the most unique year where it is not really like that guy is definitely better than that guy who is better than that guy. And then he is better than that guy. It's, man, they're all really, really different. And if I was picking 27th, I think every single one of them would be a really good pick. Tyler Warren, please. Sign Keenan Allen. Man, Tyler Warren's good. No tight ends. Like Brock Bowers is different. Most of the time, picking a tight end, you don't want to do that. You don't do that. Pick Mason Taylor in the second round, LSU tight end. You'll be happy. Look at that. Golden. Everybody wants Golden. We can start with Matthew Golden. I think Matthew Golden would be a really good fit with the Cowboys. It's just all about number 12 is weird. Number 12 is weird. Number 12 is weird. McShay mocked TMac today, said he likes Golden more, but has heard Dallas likes TMac. Technically, I have TMac as my top wide receiver. It's hard this year. I know you're supposed to have like these really strong opinions and like this is a. So here's one of the things. I'm nervous about Golden's lack of collegiate production, right? Picking 12, you would love to have every box checked. And with Golden, good player at the University of Houston for 2 years, good season at Texas. But his big year is really a 4-week run. I would love it if he had multiple 1,300-yard years. Would love it. But when I'm watching the player, and it's just, okay, what does he do? Maybe it was the fact that they thought that Isaiah Bond was their one, and the offense was kind of run that way, and it just never really happened. Eventually, they went, crap, this is our guy, because in the biggest moments, in the biggest games, he was the guy. I wish that Matthew Golden had a better production profile to feel good about picking him at 12. I wish that Luther Burden didn't have Theo Weiss be the leading receiver at Missouri last year. I wish Ebuka could separate like Golden can. And I wish all of them were as big as Tetairoa McMillen. So it's hard. It's a weird year, and it's a hard year trying to sort out exactly what order would you put these guys in. Technically, I have it. McMillen, see, even as I'm reading it off, I don't love it. I don't know. I have it McMillen, Ebuka, Burden, Golden. I don't love it. I don't love it. Which one of these four wide receivers has a chance to be a number one in the NFL if everything goes right? Because I don't think any of them is going to be a number one wide receiver. I don't think. But I also think the fact that the Cowboys are visiting all of them means that there is a good chance that that is what they're targeting. We'll start with Matthew Golden. Does Matthew Golden fit with the Dallas Cowboys? Absolutely. Why? Because Matthew Golden can be anywhere. Matthew Golden lines up outside a lot. The way that he runs routes, the ability to, first of all, he is fast, but the ability to play that, to play fast, play slow, play fast, play slow. The ability to tempo and set people up, I think, is probably better than any of the other receivers. It's definitely better if you combine it with just the ability to, sometimes I use sound effects for my scouting reports, the ability to, because like Emeka Ebuka is a great route runner, but he doesn't have the same ability to skirt. You have to use sound effects because I don't know the words to say it, right? But Matthew Golden has that fluidity as a route runner that Emeka Ebuka has, but he also has that stop, go. He's the best separator of the group. Separating is important. And if you put him on the move, that ability to stop and go in tempo, if he is a guy who is moving around and lining up in the slot, that plays really, really well. CD can also do that. What we are ignoring too much when talking about what wide receiver fits with the Dallas Cowboys, I think, is CD does not have to be in the slot. Like you say, this guy doesn't fit because he doesn't play outside. I don't buy that unless he's not a really good player. Because CeeDee Lamb kicks your ass from wherever he lines up. It's not like, no, he must be in the slot to get the matchup. No, you can play with this thing. He can play out here. He can play out there. He can be the slot. He can be the move. So can whoever you add. They can do it that way. I think Matthew Golden fits really well with CeeDee Lamb because both of them can do whatever. There's a little Antonio Brown to Matthew Golden. I'm just telling you. And I don't mean the CTE, which I say with all due respect. I mean the way that he moves and the way that he separates. I like Matthew Golden a lot. As I talk about whichever of the top 4 wide receivers, as I talk about him, I think he's my top guy. Like right now, I think Matthew Golden's my top guy as I talk about him. Because that fluidity, that explosiveness, he has a combination of all of the things you want. He would fit really well. The idea that TMac is not a fit, Tetairoa McMillen, I don't buy that either. McMillan doesn't have to be outside. He doesn't have to be. Big slots are monsters in the NFL now. And big slots who are nifty-footed big players are great in there. Most slot corners are the smallest starting corner on the team. Most of them are 5'10", 5'11", whatever. T-Mac eats on that. He lines up in the slot at Arizona. He plays outside a lot. He lines up in the slot. Him as a guy on the inside is a hard matchup for a guy who's 5'11", 195, and I'm running a slant or a crosser. That's hard because those guys can run with him, but you can't stop him from catching the ball when he gets across your face, and he is that big, and he plucks everything with his hands. You just can't get around him. So T-Mac fits with the Cowboys really well. It gives CD the ability to be in the slot and be the move guy as often as you want, as much as you want. He fits great. Matthew Golden fits great. They both do. If we traded down with Cincinnati as Ebuka around from Knight in the super chat, man, guessing where these guys go, I think is so hard. I could see the Cowboys picking the first receiver at 12. I could see one off the board before they pick. I could see no receiver going until 20. I could see it every way. Does Golden really separate that well? Why is there any hesitancy on him as a prospect? I think it's just the production thing. You want, like, what are McMillan's stats? What do you have? 1,300 yards 2 years in a row? Like, you would love for a guy to be the number one receiver on his team for 3 years. You want to be a junior coming out because they're so good that after 3 years they're coming out. That's okay. That's McMillan. 700 yards as a freshman, 1,400 as a sophomore, 1,300 as a senior. Golden's production is mostly from a 4-game stretch. Mostly. But you watch him run and you watch him play and you go, well, that works. That plays. My problem with T-Mac is that he needs to have space created for him. I don't think that's true either. I think he's being underrated by people when it comes to his ability to win as a route runner. I actually think for being 6'4", 219, that he doesn't play as powerfully as you would think that body would. I think he plays more finesse-ish. He is a big-bodied guy that gets the advantages of being big and long and big-bodied and can adjust to a football in the air and go pluck it and all of those things. But I don't think that the way that he plays like up the sideline against press coverage is, I am way bigger and stronger than you. But as far as how are you going to get him open? No, he's not going to separate like a smaller guy. But I think the best thing about two of the big receivers in this draft, Jaden Higgins at Iowa State and Tetairoa McMillen, is that they are the big guys with the sweet feet that have the quickness and the agility and the balance, that they're not plodding around out there. So I think McMillen fits really well because he does give you the big-bodied go get it. That works in the red zone. CD's great in the red zone. Now all of a sudden we got touchdown scoring dudes. The ability to win outside, down the field in contested situations. If you're going to run a bunch of stop routes, the ability to be bigger and go pluck it from somebody. His after catch is better than most big wide receivers because of the fluidity and the feet and the balance. McMillen fits great with the Cowboys. Golden fits great with the Cowboys. What about Bond? Let me talk about Isaiah Bond in a minute. I want to go through the top 4 guys, and then I'll talk about Isaiah Bond. After the Mozzie Guyton fiascos, I think the Cowboys want a high character safe pick. And if that's the case, you want Emeka Ebuka. Although I saw some stuff on Golden today about like character-wise, something from Steve Sarkisian, Texas coach, talking about him, where it was like he was not part of the early read on a play. And so he came out of his route not really running some point early in the season. And the ball went to him and it fell incomplete. And he said he came to the sideline. He said that'll never happen again. And it's like, all right, even if I'm the 4th read, I'm going. And you do not see effort issues from Matthew Golden. I think he's a high football IQ dude or high football character dude. I think they all are. The one question is going to be about Luther Burden because as our very own Clarence Hill on the DLS Cowboys podcast said, he reached out to some people who would know, like, hey, what's happening with the Luther Burden slide? And he's going to be the one guy that has the questions about what you would call football character, where scouts apparently go to Missouri practice, and he's not first in line. Where's the best corner? Come get some. He's more of back of the line, going through it, going through the motions, and then let's see you on game day. Can that change? Sure. I don't want to be too mean to any 21 to 23-year-old outside of felonies, I guess. Because I was that age and I became an adult when I was like 36. So like people can grow. But yeah, that's going to be a thing that if you're looking at it and you're like, what I want is a dude that is dialed in, professional, football character. That may be Luther Burden's slide because Luther Burden, the player on tape, whoo boy. Missouri didn't trust their offense to be good this year, and they didn't trust their offensive line to be good this year, and you could tell in the way that they did things. The fact that so much of their offense was like, can we just get the ball to Burden right this second and not do more than that after what he did 2 years ago? Luther Burden's ceiling is super high because is he a after the catch screen or vertical? That's kind of what they did with him. Slot fades and screens, baby. But with the way that he moves with the ball in his hands, you can tell he doesn't have to be just that. Luther Burden can be a good route runner. Luther Burden can be a separator. The comps are always unfair when you say like Luther Burden plays like Deebo Samuel. And then it's going to be unfair the other way when I explain it because it's like, well, Deebo is different when it comes to being unable to tackle a guy. Like, yes, that is the style of Luther Burden, but let's not pretend that people go to the extreme of what Deebo Samuel does. But Deebo Samuel's never been a get open guy. Luther Burden can be a get open guy. He can be everything. He has the ability to be an outside guy, to be a slot guy, to be a yak guy, to be a separator, to be a vertical threat. Luther Burden has the combination of things to be the best of these guys. He's got it. He can run fast like Golden. He's better after the catch than any of the other receivers. With coaching, he can absolutely be a route runner. Burden could be the best of this bunch. Could be. Get in the front of the line at practice. And then Emeka Egbuka, he's the easiest one. Don't think he'll ever be anybody's number one receiver. And I don't think you'll ever be disappointed with him in any way, shape, or form. They'll put him anywhere. They'll run any route. He is flawless in terms of the small details of playing wide receiver. Like, for instance, let's say you're running a slant or a drag and the quarterback throws the ball and it is off by a foot, any direction. All of them can catch it. Ebuka is the one that's going to have teach tape of hesitating himself just a bit to frame it up perfectly, to not break stride. Like, he does everything exactly right. He's probably the best blocking receiver in college football. He is a slant god. He can run. He will slant or drag on anybody. And he will catch the ball, and he will be tough after the catch. I don't think he has the same explosiveness that Burden does after the catch. He's not going to break tackles like that. He's not the explosive mover that Golden is, and he doesn't have the size that McMillen has. And I love him. And I love him. I love the way Noel separates. Jalen Noel at Iowa State, their slot guy, has made his way up everybody's rankings because he had an incredible combine. On tape, I didn't think he played like a speed guy. I thought he was going to be pretty much a shifty, picture Cooper Cup-ish, like a shifty off the line. I'm going in or I'm going out, or I'm running a slant, and you can't stay in front of me. And then now all of a sudden he's super fast. And I'm like, well, crap. I thought he was a third, maybe fourth rounder. Now he's probably a second rounder. So now that's all four of those guys. And it's like, so which of the top guys is the best fit with the Cowboys? I think they all fit great. So the question's really a setup, because I think only misconceptions about one of these players makes you think that they don't fit great with CeeDee Lamb. Ebuka might be the worst fit because that's what Burden can be. I think Ebuka, out of all of these guys, you might want outside the least, but again, like, he's a professional. He can do it. He's been a professional since he was 16 years old. Any one of them would fit great. Any one of them. Concerned about Golden's size. No, I think his size is almost perfect. Like, when you get a guy who's bigger and more athletic, you get me Randy Moss, you get me Calvin Johnson, that's awesome. I think today's wide receiver, the ones that I tend to like the most, are the separators, and they tend to be 5'11" to 6 foot, 195 to 200 pounds. I love it. That's my kind of dude. Unless you're an elite. You know who Matthew Golden might be? This is just popping in my head. Like Garrett Wilson. Small-ish, thin-ish, runs really well, good route runner, good separator. Kind of Garrett Wilson-ish. Or maybe Chris Olave-ish. I'm putting Texas man with the Ohio State man. So anyway, that's the top wide receivers. Isaiah Bond, who somebody asked about, no idea what to do with him. I put him in the 4th round. He may go in the 2nd. No idea to do with him. I did enjoy that Todd McShay put out video of like Matthew Golden and how incredible he is and how fast he is and how perfect he is at route running. And on those plays, Isaiah Bond is running the same route, and he appears to be doing it a little bit faster and maybe even separating a little bit more. So like, Isaiah Bond's got some goods. He got some goods in there. But just the lack of production when you were supposed to be the number one, the fact that I think he's actually over-reliant on how fast and explosive he is, which means that he's lacking in what you should be doing at this moment in a route to give your quarterback the best chance to make a throw. I think in a lot of ways, he's just zooming around. And so Isaiah Bond, I don't know. That's tough. He's a tough one. Am I done with Jalen Tolbert? Not done. I mean, I'm done worrying about him being like a number 2. I just don't think that's going to happen. If Tolbert / Turpin is your third wide receiver, that's cool. What round Higgins going, you think? I think Higgins is going in the second round. I think Jaden Higgins, for me, is the wide receiver that after all of those top guys, he's the next one for me. There will be some people who disagree, and he may not be the next guy off the board, but for me, he's the next guy. And was there a super chat that I missed? I'll make sure I got the supers, and then I want to talk about some running backs real fast. With our luck, we picked the dud, and the other 3 turn into studs, but that could be any one of them. It's a hard group. It's a hard group to sort through. Jeff, I really like cornerback. Hot out of UNT. You think he'll be available for the Cowboys at 12? Go meet Green. I think he will, because it's the first time I'm seeing his name. I'm going to have to go watch him now. And when Knight asked about trading down Cincinnati, is Ebuka around? I think Ebuka makes it. Yeah, I think Ebuka makes it to where Cincinnati pick. I think Ebuka is going to get picked in the 20s or 30s. That's what I think. And it sounds like Burden's things will put him in the same range. So it sounds like the decision for the Cowboys at 12, if it's a receiver, is McMillen or Golden. And I want to have a strong opinion. I don't. I just don't. Running backs. Second topic of conversation today. Running back, I would love to have Ashton Jeanty on the team. That would be great. I think he's going to be gone. Omarion Hampton at 12, I don't like at all. And I really like Omarion Hampton. I think he's a good player. I don't want him at 12. I just don't. 12 is for elite special running back. Omarion Hampton is really good prospect. I think the comp that somebody in ESPN made, and they made a lot of comps that I absolutely don't see, but the running back one for Hampton, I really liked. They said Joe Mixon. I see that. I liked Joe Mixon better as a prospect, but I see it. Hampton is Joe Mixon light. That's not 12 for me. Let somebody else do that. Am I 100% convicted that Hampton's the second best running back in the draft? It's where I have him. But do I think he could do, if you give the exact same offensive line and it's a average to below average one to Ashton Jeanty and Omarion Hampton, I think your results are pretty clearly different. If I give that same offensive line to Omarion Hampton and Caleb Johnson, I think my results are very similar. Omarion Hampton at 12 ain't for me. At all. How do you feel about drafting 2 running backs? I would like it, and I'll tell you who they are in a second. Because this is my other thing. Omarion Hampton, I think, would be a really good player for you. Not at 12. Who do you love out of Giddens, Harvey, Sampson, Martinez? I can tell you because I've now seen them all. I watched more running backs last night. And that's the whole thing. Do not take Omarion Hampton at 12 when you can take RJ Harvey at 7. Are they 76? When you can take RJ Harvey at 76, you know what I hate? You know what I hate? You know what I hate? I hate they give away 4th round picks like they're nothing. Based on my rankings, there are 8 running backs I want in the 4th round. That could absolutely be half of your running back tandem. There's like 8 of them. And they refuse to have 4th round picks. I hate it. I hate it. But just see which ones falls to the 5th, because how many running backs are getting drafted in the first 3 rounds? Or in the first 4 rounds, I guess, because you need to wait to the 5th in theory. Is half the league going to take a running back in the first 4 rounds? Maybe. But if not, I mean, I just keep watching more dudes, and I just keep seeing more dudes that could be half of your running back tandem in the NFL as a rookie. I just keep seeing them. So last night, which names got added? Last night I was watching Omarion Hampton as a second rounder would be wonderful. It's starting to sound like that's impossible. Travion Henderson in the second round would be fine. Caleb Johnson in the second round would be fine. In a perfect world, my next guys are Dylan Sampson at Tennessee and Quinshon Judkins at Ohio State. I would like them in the third. In the second, I don't love that pick. And if they're all going in the second round, let it happen. RJ Harvey in the third, I would love that pick in the third. I have Jaden Blue out of Texas in the third. No one else does. Well, some people do. But it sounds like he might be a guy that you could get on day 3, which that goes into my, sure, pick 2 of them. If I can really have Jaden Blue, University of Texas, home run hitter, smaller guy, very fast, makes big plays. If I can really have him on day 3, done and done. Day 3 is for throwing darts at traits guys or good players who lack the traits. If you can put him in that mix on day 3, done and done. I have 9 more guys that I have listed as 4th round players. 9. And it's every other running back I've watched. There's just so freaking many that are going to, I think, be capable of being an NFL player. Jordan James, Oregon. He's a hammer. Mini Marshawn. And that applies to like 4 guys that I have in this group. Bayshall Tootin, Virginia Tech. Home run hitter. I just don't like that he drops the ball and fumbles the ball and that his vision's kind of iffy. But his combination of quickness, speed, power, elusiveness, he could be a stud. He's just got some detail things that I don't love. Otherwise, he would be considerably higher. I watched Georgia's ETN last night. Smaller guy, but runs hard, sees it, quickness, finishing runs, receiver. Yeah, he could be half of a running back group in the NFL. Damian Martinez at Miami, hard as hell to tackle. He could be the hammer in a backfield. Ollie Gordon, Oklahoma State, he could be the hammer in a backfield. Smith at SMU, the former Miami wide receiver, who, let that be a lesson to you, kids. If you can't get on the field at a Power 5 program at wide receiver, switch to running back. You can get drafted the next year. Scadaboo, Arizona State. And I'm sure that's lower than some, and that's okay. He maybe he should be at the top of this group. But hammer, can catch. Devin Neal, Kansas. Steady as she goes, baby. Steady as she goes. And then Giddens, Kansas State. I think he could be even better than the way that I like him right now, but I think he's weird because let me make sure I'm not getting my guys confused. Like he's over 200 pounds and he's over 6 foot, but he doesn't get his pads down and run with power. He manages to break or evade some tackles, but not in ways that I think are going to play in the NFL. But he sees everything really well. 1.49 10-yard split is insane, which means when he sees it, he can accelerate as good as anybody in this draft class or pretty much any draft class. Good balance, quickness for when there is some daylight. Good in the open field, DJ Giddens. There's just so many dudes that are capable of being half of your wide receiver or running back group that you do not need to burn number 12 on a second round running back. You don't need to do that. Aaron's in the super chat. Aaron's a good man. He's all up in the DLS Cowboys show as well, which we appreciate. Trucker man, appreciate you. So anyway, do you have any more super chats? That's what I wanted to get through. I got a text from Broaddus. He said, my bad, slept through this bad boy. See you Monday. Maybe circle back Friday. So we may do another one tomorrow. Maybe. We'll see. But anyway, thanks for stopping by, everybody. You know that I love you. I think you do. If you don't, let me tell you right now, I love you. The fact that you take time out of your day to watch me talk about football is amazing. It doesn't make any sense to me, and I appreciate it and I love it. No, it does make sense to me. I do not have self-worth issues. I earned this, damn it, by being talented and likable and working hard. So thank you for being here. It's very much appreciated. Remember, you have no idea what anybody's going through, so be cool to everybody. I love you. Making sure I don't have more super chats.